Hello, this is Marjorie Wildcraft with the Grow Network. And today I want to show you the biggest mistake that most people make when they're building a compost pile so that you can avoid it. Okay, my friends, I had some friends living at my house and staying here, taking care of it while I was gone, and they built me this lovely compost area. And I thought, wow, that's really awesome, except for that they made the classic mistake of what you should not do with a compost bin. First of all, let me show you the things that they did right. And first of all, I love a 3-bin system. They don't quite have the 3rd bin here, but I love this system. It works really well, and this size is perfect. You know, making something out of pallets, it's just about the right amount of size. 3 bins are great. You have 1 bin, which is your active bin. You're putting your greens, you're putting your browns in there, you're watering it. And then as soon as that gets even just a little bit bigger, it's going to be full. I'm going to let that compost down, move over here to the empty bin, do the whole thing, fill it up with stuff. And then as this is, once this is completely full, that's probably going to be composted and used. So we'll take all that out. It'll be open and available. So you just go back and forth and back and forth. Great setup. I actually really would have preferred another set of pallets here to define a 3rd bin, but what they did is fine. You almost always need an area for a bunch of browns, and so here I had some old bales of hay that they got for me and stacked up. The browns, you almost always need browns, and you need them handy. So most of the times the things that you're bringing to the compost pile are going to be your kitchen scraps, your weeds, they're all greens. And it's great to just dump them and then have some browns and always keep it covered. So having a lot of browns on hand is always awesome. They're easier to get that way. Now let me show you, so you know, it looks good and most people do this, but let me show you where the mistakes are. And the biggest mistake is that they did not prepare enough of a border around this whole area to prevent grass from getting in. So I don't know if you can see it here. We're already started, this grass is right here, and it is going to move right on into that compost pile. You can see it happening here. You can see it already moving on in here. It's starting to happen in the back. You know, just because you put a board up, grass does not go, oh, I'm just not going to go there anymore. They put a board up. No, grass does not. I don't know what grass thinks, but it doesn't think like that. I know that for a fact. And what happens is that grass, there's even some more coming in on this side. And it will even get all up in your browns and become a huge grass fest. It'll be a grass festival, which is awesome, except for that you don't want that. You want compost. Now it does, you know, the compost pile does heat up a little bit and will kill some, but man, the grass is going to take over. I promise you. You're going to be frustrated and angry and upset. So what I'm going to do is I'll spend the next couple of days removing the barrier of grass around, moving all the grass around the edges, and then making sure I've got a really good barrier. I'll do all that work and then come back and show you some footage of that so you'll know what it looks like. Okay, well, you ever had one of those projects where just like one thing after another, you thought, oh, when you start out, you think, oh, just be simple, I'll just take care of this, right? And one thing after another. Hey, did you see that? Who put a compost pile on top of the electrical extension cord that runs out to some other pumps and stuff we got out there? Like, oh my God, I'm just so grateful that the pitchfork didn't hit that, because then it would have been a very different video. The the Marjorie gets electrocuted video. Actually, I think it would have just shorted out to ground, or, well, at least, there would have been a video record for the police to know what happened. Anyway, I hope you also saw, like, underneath that pile, there were still living grass roots, even under the pile that had been here for months, totally covered and everything. So grass is a super formidable competitor, and that's why I really like it. It's a great plant when you want it in a pasture, but I really love having, setting it back a long ways before putting it on there, clearing it all out, always making sure I got a border around my compost piles and all the nearby grasses and stuff. Although some people have given me a little bit of slack about the plastic. This is a really high grade landscape cloth. It does let moisture through, and I hear you about the plastic. And if I'd have had it, I would have used cardboard. I would have used like 4 or 5 layers of cardboard, but I just didn't have that much material. In fact, this plastic was the only piece of thing that I had, so I used that. But I'm super happy with how it all turned out in the end. This is going to be a great pile. Of course, when I use the second bin, like you're going to do, put a lot of cardboard down, put a whole lot of hay down, make sure that there's a really good dry base, and then start putting my greens in. And yeah, so compost pile, hopefully you won't have those kind of problems. Number one rule though, make sure you can't get grass in. Okay, this is Marjorie Wildcraft, and I'll catch you on another video.
The Grow Network is a movement of people who are stopping the destruction of the earth via homegrown food. Get our free guide to simple and effective homemade fertilizers at freefertilizers.com.